because of my grandmother, I didn't see cooking as a skill. I just thought it was a way of life. I don't think many people knew that I liked cooking and I liked baking because I just did it. Food unites people on so many different levels. It doesn't matter where you're from or your background, but we all need to eat. From a Caribbean background, if I didn't season my food, I would be disowned. It's all about the seasoning for me.
Welcome to the Good Food Podcast with me, Samuel Goldsmith.
This is my first time here.
Is it?
First time to the Good Food Show.
Wow. Not your last.
Hopefully.
What did you have for dinner last night?
So for I'm good. Do you know what I am? I don't lie. I'm not very good at that. I had a takeaway.
What
Sue
did
me.
you get?
I had a Chinese takeaway. I had some prawn dumplings, crispy duck,
Nice,
and a crab and sweet corn soup.
Oh.
I know. I don't usually go for the soup. Sometimes I like a noodly thing. Yeah. I like egg fried rice.
I like crispy chili beef.
Crispy chili beef. But I kept it sort of small last night because I knew I was coming here. And there's a lovely couple, I'm just saying this because it's a podcast, having ice creams here. And I really want an ice cream now.
Is that the Sulcombe Dairy? Is it them? Yeah. I had one of those yesterday.
Yeah.
It was good.
So
you grew up in London.
Yes.
What was food like growing up?
Food is a major part of my growing up. And I thought about food a lot, but I enjoyed thinking about food. My grandmother was a chef in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
And when she came over during that Windrush period, she came over and she got a job working in offices and schools, cooking. And I loved her so much that I would spend every moment in the kitchen with her. And she was an instinctive cook. She didn't use cookbooks. But we did a lot of Caribbean cooking. I think from the age of 6, I was frying chicken.
Oh, wow.
She was making me gut fish.
Oh.
So I knew how to open up the fish, take out the bones. And it was at first it was like, oh, I was quite, oh.
I think most people are at first.
But then it became a way of life. And she always cooked from scratch. And also in her garden, she had a blackberry bush. She had a literally tiny garden, loads of weeds and everything, but there was this blackberry bush. I remember always getting pricked, but she'd always send me out to pick the blackberries, and then we'd make, apple and blackberry crumbles. And so she really, started that love of food with me. And I wanted to learn from her. She was just so effervescent, and, we didn't have much, but she always made food stretch. And every day in fact, but always on a Sunday, you could walk to the end of her road and you could smell that she'd been cooking in the kitchen. And her home was always open. So she always had something ready. So whoever knocked the door, they would be fed.
Oh.
So that's where it all started from, and it stemmed from.
And was she from St Lucia?
Yeah, she was from St Lucia.
And so what would the classic or traditional food of St Lucia be?
Dumplings. She used to make this bean stew with dumplings that I loved. Fried chicken.
Nice.
Plantain. Macaroni cheese.
Oh, wow.
Beef stew.
Yeah. The beef stew, is that different to what we would think of?
Yeah, different from here. It would have like yam. It'd have ground provisions. So yam, dash-in, sweet potato, that would be in it. And then I always loved dumplings, like the boiled dumplings, small with it.
With the like suet pastry, with those ones.
Well, she did. I don't think she used suet. It's more flour, farrin, cornmeal, that sort of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So it was delicious.
Ooh,
I liked food.
Yeah. Who wouldn't if that's what you were eating?
Yeah. So it was those sort of vibes, but then she'd also make,
like your crumbles that you were
crumbles,
yeah, because it's you were getting a real kind of like mishmash
of it. Yeah.
Would you ever have the fusion element where it would be like a mix of both worlds coming together?
Sort of. I mean, I don't remember it, but I guess that's because she was so, she cared about her roots and where she came from. So I remember that. And also it was a real, I didn't cook it. My mum didn't cook it. So we went there and it was an event, and, and we loved it. So yeah.
But you were helping with the prep, like you were saying.
Helping with the prep, because I lived with her for a while when we were young. So yeah, no, it was good. And that's where I got that sort of like instinctive cooking.
And when did you start taking over like your own cooking?
I think, obviously, when I grew up, I went to university, I was eating. When I went to university, it's survival. You're just, and also you're enjoying yourself, so you're not spending that much time in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I remember I used to eat like pasta with baked beans on top and cheese, you know.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was sort of like survival food and cheap. But I think it was when I got my own place that I sort of, and I wanted my home to be one where people would come round, so I'd have parties and people over. But, you know, I just think, and maybe when I finished university, I'd, like the usual staples you learn. I mean, I remember being at school and home economics was a big thing. And I would make flapjacks, cakes, and I'm like, it's such a shame that those sort of subjects aren't taught in primary schools anymore, because I used to feel so fulfilled when I'd make it and I'd pack it away in my little Tupperware. And I know I'd be bringing it home for family or we'd share it at the bus stop, you know, those sort of things. So I think it's always been part of me. And even though at university I didn't make sort of elaborate dishes, but I was still thinking about food
and feeding
myself. And it was an integral part of, I think it's just living and survival. If you can't eat whatever it is or make something from scratch or a salad or whatever, you're not going to have the brain power. But when I finished and I was renting a room, I did sort of start exploring like more elaborate things like lasagnas, spaghetti bologneses, baking pastry, pies. And I love a cookbook. So I used to have, was it the dairy cookbook when I was little?
Yes, my dad had that.
I had it, so my gran had that.
Yeah.
And I found a copy online, say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
A second-hand one, because I wanted it, because I still remember the pictures and how it inspired me. I'm thinking, I'm going to try and do it. And I remember as a little girl trying to make a white sauce. I got it wrong so many times, but the moment that, you know, the flour and the butter didn't split when I added the milk and it all mixed into one beautiful white sauce, I can still see that moment.
That book is, I think my nan had it, my dad had, and I still, when I go home now, he sometimes, like, if they're doing a roast dinner, that's there, open, they're following a recipe from it.
Yeah, it's
mad,
great.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I think did it come from like the Milkman? I'm not sure.
The Milkman or Reader's Digest, or maybe one of those, but I think it was the Milkman actually.
Yeah, that's mad. You just don't get that anymore.
Don't get it. Staple recipes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
After obviously you're cooking for yourself, cooking for family, friends, you also did Celeb MasterChef.
Yeah.
How was that?
Celeb MasterChef was a real turning point for me, because if I'd had a meeting, they say, what's your interest? I'd never say food. Because I think because of my grandmother, I didn't see cooking as a skill. I just thought it as a way of life.
Sure.
So I don't think many people knew that I liked cooking and I liked baking, because I just did it.
Yeah.
And when I started working on the One Show, and the One Show is celebrating 20 years this year, and I started working on it from the start, sometimes I'd bring in cakes just because I wanted to, I just think you have to keep going and keep that skill going. So I'd bake just for the sake of it and then bring it into work.
Oh.
And my boss knew that I liked food and liked cooking, and then my name was put down on the list. It's a long story, but in the end I agreed. At first I said I'm not doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just, it's quite a stressful show.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Well, you can see it on screen.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, do I want to do that? And what if you go out in the first round? No one wants to go out in the first round. And next thing I knew, I was on it. And I remember my first, I think there was Julia Somerville, Stephen Hendry, Henri Leconte, me and Vic Reeves, I think he was on it.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, it'd be fine that first heat. But everyone there was so good. And there was recipes I had in my head that I thought, I'm going to be cooking this. If I get to the final, I'd use these recipes. But I was having to use them in the first round just to get through. So it was a really high bar that was set in my first heat. But then, I did go on to win it.
You did win.
Yeah. And it was amazing. I working in the professional kitchens, I worked in a restaurant called Temper. I worked for Jason Atherton in his City Social, and I'll never forget it. But it is true. When they say you've got an hour, you only have an hour. So you've got to, prepare your food and have it ready, and also make sure the flavors are on point.
I guess for you, working in telly for as long as you had, were you a bit like, it's fine, there'll be like here's one I prepared earlier moment?
No.
Or did you think that was going to happen?
No. I'd done other things before, and also I know that MasterChef wouldn't have survived this long if it cut corners. It's a well-oiled machine, and it's well-loved across the world.
Yeah.
So I knew that they wanted people to come and do their best and prepare good food.
Did it change your relationship with food, like once you'd won?
I think, I don't think it changed my relationship, but it made me want to explore different techniques.
Sure.
Different recipes.
Yeah.
And then I had a cookbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was aimed at young people, but obviously an adult would have to help them and support them in some of those recipes, depending on how proficient they were. But, I was really proud of that because it took me back to when I was younger, and that's how I got introduced to food and different tastes. And that's what it's about. Just, I think if you introduce young people to different flavors and tastes and foods, whilst they're still exploring, they're more likely to be adventurous with what they eat.
I think, like you were saying as well about cooking in schools, like
yes.
if you have that access to it, you become more confident, I
yes.
think, because you're seeing everyone do it with you. So it's not as scary as when you're at home faced with all these ingredients,
exactly.
having to do it yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And then because you've been doing telly for years now. What's telly like? What's food like behind the scenes?
Like in my life?
Yeah, as in, like, do you get fed, like, your lunches?
Oh, I think, I mean, when you're filming out and about, it's hard. Like if I'm doing a film for the One Show and you're pushed for time, I might not eat, or I might save it. I'd be like, I'm not going to eat now, I'll save it. But I mean, I remember when I started on CBBC many years ago, there was the canteen in the East Tower, where not East Tower, Studio 9. On that section, there was the restaurant block, and the ladies who worked in there were really special. And they always used to make sure I was fed. And so I always say that whenever you work anywhere, just always be nice to the kitchen staff and security staff.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, I bumped into one of the ladies that used to feed me when I started at CBBC. I was in Wembley, and she said, "You remember?" I said, "I do remember you, Lorraine." And we had this massive hug because she always made sure I was eating, and it was a new environment for me as well. And obviously we weren't getting paid loads of money at the in the start of career. So sometimes I'd be like, I'm not going to spend my wage on food. I'll wait till I get home. But they were like, no, you're going to eat. And I'm just being honest about it. That's what it was like, and I think a lot of people relate to that. Sometimes, when people are starting out in work or they're new in their career, you do, you think I'm not going to spend it on food.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the first thing to go, but they always looked out for me and made sure I was okay. So I have so much love for them. But I love canteen food. I love food where it's cooked en masse. I love my school dinner ladies. I love, the jam tarts with custard. The chocolate cake with chocolate custard.
Do you have that chocolate sort of like almost biscuity thing where they pour the custard
on it, and all those sort of meals. And I used to love that meal, and I think that's why I think it's good that, children are encouraged to eat at school and to enjoy their school meals, and also that we make sure they have a good meal at that time.
Absolutely.
And it's still love, care, good ingredients are put into it as well.
Well, often it's the only one some people have.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
only hot meal.
Exactly. But I remember my dinner ladies fondly, and I saw them as almost like a second mother or grandmother, because, when you feed people, food unites people on so many different levels. It doesn't matter where you're from or your background, but we all need to eat.
Absolutely.
And when you can sit down at a table that's a school, I used to be a school dinner monitor, so I used to serve out the food for everyone who sat on my table. That responsibility and that feeling that, you're feeding the younger ones and making sure they're eating. And even now, and if you have friends over, it's a gift. It's kindness. You're sharing. And that means a lot to me. So whenever anyone comes to my home, you don't bring anything.
Okay.
You come and just say, you will be fed and watered, and that is my gift to you. So, yeah.
Do you have like a go-to meal that you do for people, or does it change all the time?
It changes. Sometimes it's like really simple, like a big salad or a tuna pasta bake. Sometimes I keep or a lasagna. But then other times, if it's I want to do something for a special occasion, I like lamb. I've just been talking about that on the stage. Fish. Always 3 courses.
Okay, nice.
I like making homemade pasta. I like desserts.
Yeah.
I like baking. So yeah, and I'll always think of how to do something a little bit different, and I'll experiment.
Little twist.
Always a twist. Like I've got this amazing ginger cake. My gran and granddad loved cooking with ginger, and ginger cake and gingerbread and all that. So, but then I'll put a little bit of jam in there and cook it, so there's a little surprise inside. And sometimes I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll just go with it.
I feel like that's a safe option, jam and ginger.
Yeah, but you make your own jam.
Nice.
Easy. Strawberries, sugar, bit of lemon juice.
And is that ginger powder, like stem ginger?
Bit of both.
Bit of both. Because you know that when you get the stem ginger in the jar, on like I put the syrup on like porridge. It's so good. And it's medicinal. My granddad always say ginger's medicinal. I think it is.
Whack it in everywhere. So
with going back to school puddings again, did you ever have a peppermint custard?
Yes, like a green one.
Yes. Everyone, you're like, there's only 2 people. Everyone thinks I'm mad because I talk about peppermint custard sometimes. And you did have
with
it.
a chocolate sponge.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I had that.
You.
Love
Good.
it.
Right, we'll move it because you also did Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes, I did last year.
What was food like there? It always seems a bit like they're sort of trying to starve you to make you grumpy.
Yeah, there wasn't, that. I mean, I loved Celebrity Big Brother. I loved the experience. It was, it's iconic, the show. And when they asked me, I was like, really? But food makes or break people, doesn't it? And yes, if you didn't do well, you wouldn't have as much food. But it's funny because in my head, I was like, this is a period of time. I might leave at a certain point. So I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah.
I didn't cook. There was people who wanted to cook more.
I feel like they think they're safe then.
Yes.
Because no one's going to put them up for eviction if you're the chef.
But it was interesting. It was fun. And also it was interesting to see when you're with different people, what they like. Some people like less sugar. Some people want more healthy food. Some people, if you're having downtime, will eat a pack of crisps and a chocolate. I go through different phases. Sometimes I want to be healthy. And sometimes in the week, I'm like, let's hold back. Because on the weekend, I'll just splurge.
Yeah.
So
it's like the 80-20 people say, don't they?
Yes.
Like, be good if you can 80%.
Yeah.
Treat yourself the other 20.
But I don't deprive myself. If I want something, I want it.
You have it.
Yeah, I just think life's too short.
But presumably in somewhere like Big Brother, that's hard.
That is hard. But I just went with it.
Because when I used to watch it back in the day, it was like they'd get a list, they'd have a certain amount of money.
Oh, doing the shopping list. I remember doing the shopping list a couple of times. And it's intense because you've got to make sure you're doing the calculations. So you're doing the calculations. And then also you just got to make sure that everyone's got something that they would like to eat. Because it is a comfort food. And if you're in a stressful environment, food is your go-to. So, yeah, it was fun.
It is an iconic show like that. I've just even just talking about it, I'm like getting things like all the memes you see of like Gemma Collins. Like,
yeah.
And that moment when David died.
Oh, there's been so many funny moments over the years. Yeah.
And then just thinking about like your career in general, because like you said, you started off on CBBC.
Yeah.
What is like children's TV? When I was a kid, I loved it, but now watching it, it's quite like hyper, as in there's a lot of energy. You guys have to have a lot of energy to do CBBC. Yeah. Like CBBC.
I think I've always been quite an upbeat person.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about that time recently, and it was so good. And I just love children and young people. I think they've got an innocence to them, but also they're honest, and they're not tarnished by the cynicism of the world. And I still have a large bag of my fan mail that children used to take the time to draw pictures of me, of their favorite characters. They'd write down why they like their characters, why they'd like CBBC. And it was a moment in their day. They'd come back from school, rushed, and watch those shows. And I think at the time I didn't really realize, I loved my job. Every day was different. It was fun. We had pop bands come in. I'm still friends with some of them, and you see them and you remember that time when, those links before Neighbours would come on.
Yeah.
And I'm just so grateful. I wouldn't be still working now if it wasn't for those young people who invested in me and took the time to message me and ask me, you know, and every day I'd have to have a pile of my photo card and letters, and I'd have to sign my
Wow.
cards. It was part of, you know, what we did.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I have young people now who come up to me and say, I got a photo card from you and you wrote back to me,
Oh.
or you were my childhood. And I loved that time. And the shows are brilliant. But I was high energy. And also I wanted my audience to believe that I loved it too.
Yeah. But if you're working on the one show now,
Yeah.
that's presumably a lot different to producing children's TV. Or is it
Yeah,
not?
I mean, I did a lot of live TV. You know, I was on CBBC every afternoon, and it was live. You know, and you had to go with it. And if something went wrong, you went with it. And that's how, you know, I worked with Andrew Hayden Smith for a long time. We had a great partnership, and we got used to live TV. And I think when I do the one show, it's live as well, and I love that. And I'm lucky that I still do live TV. There's not as much live TV
Of course.
opportunities now, but just whenever you hear, like even when CBBC, that the theme tune would come on, I'd be like, and even if I do the one show, my heart goes,
Yeah.
the trumpets, and the trumpets go when I do Chelsea Flower Show. And then once I do my first line, I say, right, I speak really slow, and I make sure I get that first line out, and then I'm ready. Like, okay, you know, and there is something amazing about just being in the moment. But then also I do a lot of films and recordings of, you know, inserts, VTs, you know, or, you know, that go into programs. And I love them just as much because you go out and about and you meet everyday people who have incredible stories, who in their local areas, in their, you know, where they live, where they grow up, they've got these stories and they're doing amazing things, and it's giving them a spotlight. And I love it. You know, I go to their homes, we have a chin wag, we chat. And I'm only here because of my audience and the people that have, you know, shown me love, kindness, or they said, you know, I used to come home and let my children watch you, you know, so it's, and now they're older, or, you know, older generation come up to me. And so it's really lovely.
Do they ever cook for you when you're going around? Have they like baked a cake?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember where was that? I went filming on the Isle of Wight for the one show, and the family there, it was about, they do Christmas lights, and the children in the family had baked.
Oh.
And it was so long. We had a little cup of tea and baked and stuff, and I love that. Just talking about life and what they're up to.
And the warmth, I think, as well, of giving someone that. You know.
Like I said, it goes back to saying it's demonstrating love and kindness. It's a love language, isn't it? Food.
Absolutely. Right, we're going to move on to our next section.
Okay.
Which is favourite dish.
Hello.
So what is your favourite dish of all time?
See, that's really hard.
It is really hard, I know. But if you had like a death row meal.
I was going to say, if we're going to break it down.
You can
It
do
would
a couple of
probably
courses.
be, right, for the first course would be pumpkin ravioli.
Ooh.
With a butter and basil,
Ooh.
sort of like
Like a sage, well, like a
sage, sage
butter.
butter. That would be the start. The main. Oh,
It is tricky, isn't it?
I don't know if I'd go for the normal roast, but I'd have to have Yorkshire puddings with it. Maybe lamb or beef, but I have to have Yorkshire puddings. Potatoes have to be just right, soft in the middle,
But crunchy on the
bit
outside.
crunchy. Macaroni cheese with it.
With your roast.
Yeah, you said it's death row. I can have what I
Oh,
want.
yeah, you can have what you want. Sorry.
Why are you judging me? I'm about to be knocked off here. I can eat what I want. Nice gravy. Oh, bread sauce.
Oh.
So I'm mixing a bit of Christmas with the roast.
You'd have a Christmas dinner, wouldn't you, really?
Yeah, but with the trimmings, pigs in blankets. It would just be a mix of a roast and a Christmas dinner.
Nice.
And dessert, custard with a crumble or a pie, apple, blackberry,
Cold
or a
hot?
trifle, an M&S trifle. I actually did a film with the one show, seeing how it was made.
Did you?
Yeah, I've done some random stuff.
Do you know, I'm obsessed with custard. I
I
absolutely
love custard,
custard.
but no lumps.
No.
No lumps.
Do you like hot or cold?
Room temperature.
Okay, good. And I feel like if the pudding's cold, it should be warmer custard. If
Yes,
the
the
pudding's
pudding's hot.
cold custard.
Yes. It's balance it out.
Yeah.
You've got to balance flavours, but you've got to balance temperatures as well.
Because there's nothing worse when you get like a crumble and you got to wait.
You got to wait. I'm not
because it's too
waiting.
hot.
I want to just delve in there. I love food.
Mm.
I really love food. I'm not one of these celebs.
It's like I have the poached fish with nothing else.
No, I need it.
Because I've heard there are some famous people that I just want steamed fish.
Do they?
No butter, no oil, no salt and pepper. And I'm like, your life is boring.
Listen, it's all about the seasoning. That's what from a Caribbean background.
Yes.
If I didn't season my food, I would be disowned. It's all about the seasoning for me.
And the seasonings, because we think of seasoning over here as salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper as well.
But there's a lot of other herbs.
There's a lot of other herbs and spices, but salt and pepper, I'm happy. If I'm coming to your house, there's salt and pepper. That is seasoning, you know. So, yeah, it's nothing worse than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lack of it. Right, culinary confessions.
All right.
What is the one dish you make better than anyone else?
That's hard.
Because there's so many.
Oh, thank you. I didn't say it. I love making carrot cakes.
Oh.
On MasterChef, I made a baked Alaska.
Yeah, that's hard as well.
That was hard. And it was a risk because it'd been on the show twice before and failed. And I thought, if I have to get through this next round, I have to bring something that's going to be a showstopper. So I made a vanilla cupcake baked Alaska. So I had to make vanilla sponge.
Yeah.
I made my own strawberry jam. So what I did was bake the vanilla sponge and I cut the top off.
Nice.
And scooped out some of the sponge and put the jam in and put the lid back on.
Very nice.
Oh no, then I cut it off and I just put a thin layer of the lid on. Then I made a pistachio ice cream from scratch. And that became the sort of lid of the cupcake.
Yeah.
And then I made an Italian meringue and encased the whole lot.
Wow.
And obviously with Italian meringue, you don't have to bake it.
Because you do the blowtorch.
You just blow
right?
the torch
Yeah.
because obviously you've cooked the egg
Yes.
as you're making it.
Because the whole baked Alaska is ice cream coated in meringue.
Yes, and the meringue keeps the ice cream. It's sort of almost like encases it so it doesn't melt.
I love a baked Alaska.
And then when you cut it, you had the green ice cream, obviously the Italian meringue, the sponge, and the strawberry inside.
That's very
very
good.
I think I'm quite good at a baked Alaska.
That's a good. We've never had that before.
Have you?
No. What is your biggest cooking disaster?
I made a crumble once, but because I was talking too much, I burnt it, and people were coming around. So that was a bit of with the crumble, it's quite good because you just have to scrape off the
it's
top.
Like toast, isn't it?
Yeah,
You
just
scrape it off.
That was a bit awkward. What else?
That's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one. Have you ever served something ready-made and pretended you made it yourself?
No. How dare you?
If your personality were a flavour of ice cream, what would it be and why?
Tutti frutti,
Tutti frutti.
because you know,
A mixture of
I'll
personality.
let the audience decide whether that. And tutti frutti, yeah, tutti frutti, yeah, just different, bit of burst, bit of excitement,
Nice.
not too serious, but still
like
tastes
it.
good,
You're opening a themed restaurant based on your life.
right?
What is it called and what is the signature dish?
Oh my gosh, do you know what my nickname is? Jelly.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess that, yeah.
Some people call me Jelly. It's funny because obviously when you're on screen, you think people are going to be like fresh, and then people just say, "Hey, Jelly, what do you think?" And I'm like, "Oh my god." So Jelly's.
I love that nickname. That's
Jelly's
great.
Dreams, Jelly's Delight,
Nice.
and my signature dish, maybe for when you have starters, instead of having bread, I'd have dumplings. You can have the fried dumplings. My gran used to cook them. It's like it's a bread texture, so you could have that. A nod to my heritage, Caribbean,
Nice.
and also a nice butter with, a different sort of butter, because I love bread and butter. I think bread and butter is a staple.
Yeah. I love bread and butter.
Bread
Too
and
much.
butter. No, everything in moderation. Come on, live a live.
You're right. What is one misconception people have about you that you'd like to change?
Gosh, at this stage, if someone's got a misconception about me, they can crack on.
They've known you forever, right?
Yeah,
now?
exactly. I don't know. I don't think about myself that much.
Okay. What is your food guilty pleasure?
Food guilty pleasure.
If you're going to sneak down at night and look in the fridge.
If I was going to go and sneak down, it'd probably be Marmite and cheese toasty,
Oh.
thin layer,
Yeah.
And I do like a bit of Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
Very nice. What's your favourite flavour?
Favourite flavour is strawberry cheesecake. Because it's got a like biscuit thing.
You've got a little bit of crunch.
A little bit of crunch.
Great.
Is that enough?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to move on to our final section, which is quick fire questions.
Oh, I don't do quick fire, as you
well,
can see.
sorry, but you got to.
How long have I got?
It's like the
Oh,
quicker
and
you
when
do
it stops, it stops.
The time to beat is 43 seconds.
Oh.
I don't want to make any judgments, but
Okay.
we'll
All right,
see.
go on then.
So I'll start the timer, do the questions, and then after the final question, you stop the timer.
I have to stop it.
Yeah.
We'll put it closer to me.
I got to reach it. Hang on, I'll move it. I'll do it. No, it's all right. You do that. Is that
All right.
okay?
Yeah.
Best kitchen tip you've ever been given?
Clean up as you go along.
If you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pasta.
What ingredient is the biggest waste of money?
Artichokes.
Worst thing you've ever eaten?
Artichokes.
Your signature can't be bothered meal?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Favorite midnight snack?
Chocolate.
What food should have its own national holiday?
Marmite.
What's your go-to hangover food?
I don't have a hangover.
What food did you hate as a kid but now love?
I love all food.
If you could invent a new crisp flavour, what would it be?
Tomato ketchup. Oh, that's a no.
Name a fictional character you'd love to have dinner with.
Dorian Gray.
Starter, main or dessert?
Dessert.
Final question. That was final. I think that was good, actually.
Was that all right?
39 seconds. That is the quickest time we've ever had.
That's because I don't overthink anything.
Yeah, that was good.
I'm like, this is it.
There were a few cop-outs, but I'll let
Which
you.
one? Go on.
What food did you hate as a kid but now love?
What did I say?
Nothing. I love all food.
Listen, I came from a background where you ate everything you were given.
Sure, there was nothing you didn't like.
No. No.
Is there anything you don't like now?
Maybe like I said, artichoke or
Yeah.
an anchovy.
Yeah.
I'd
You
eat
don't like
it.
anchovy?
No, but I've just made a salsa verde and you put it in there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
some of the foods we don't like are in food we don't realise.
And I guess in a way it was seasoning then,
it's
'cause it's very
seasoned.
salty.
Yeah. So there's nothing I'd be like,
You wouldn't be like, I'm not eating it.
no. And also I would never go anywhere and be rude. I'll eat it.
Good. That's polite. That's good.
I'm polite. I'm from good stock.
Final question of today.
Go on.
Well, on here, I'm sure there will be other people asking you questions later.
Yes.
And this is the term and not the brand, which is, what does good food mean to you?
Good food means to me good living.
Nice.
When you eat well, you feel good, and it means that you can feel positive and confident and do whatever you want. And that's why I always say that sometimes, I mean, there's been times in my life where I haven't had much money, but I've always thought, still cook and still enjoy it and do what you can. So I think it's not about eating well or having the most expensive food, but it's just being happy and making sure that you have sustenance.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for chatting to me today.
No worries, was it all right?
Yeah, it was great.
I don't
wasn't
really
it?
do interviews, you
And
know.
a new quickfire champion.
Yay.
If there was no other
is
reason
there,
to come
is there
on
a trophy?
today. Do you know what? You can have a good food mug. You can have a good food podcast mug.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
At least I'm not going
It
home
might have
empty-handed.
been used, but
Hun, I've
you
still
know.
got mugs from CBBC,
Have you?
random shows. I've still got them in
are
the
you
cupboard.
one of those mug collectors?
I'm not a collector per se, but I think they sort of trigger memories.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So I've got a little, everyone's got a cupboard where, you just put stuff, and I've got one. I've got random things, random shows I've been on, been to different events.
What's the most random knick-knack that you've kept?
I have got a cup with Alison Hammond on it, dressed as Missy Elliott, because we did a show together years ago where we had to dress up. I was Lady Gaga and she was Missy Elliott. And I've got this mug of her. So every time I open a certain cupboard, she's just there.
Love it.
So, but I'm never getting rid of that cup, because I think that cup's going to be worth something in about
Yeah.
25 years and help with my
I
pension.
reckon now, because she's pretty.
No, I think there's more
think
things
there's
she's
more
got to do.
coming?
There's more coming,
Yeah.
and I'm going to save it and put it on eBay, and hopefully get a couple of £100 when I get old.
All those mugs you could sell. Yeah.
Even this one.
Yeah. This is the most expensive
This will
one.
be the
Yeah.
well.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Just waffling there,
Yeah,
aren't we,
we're
on
waffling.
stage? Thanks for listening to this Good Food podcast. If you'd like to listen to more of our podcasts, search Good Food wherever you listen to your podcasts. For more recipes and inspiration, go to goodfood.com or download our app.